Hey there, good afternoon, good morning. It depends on which part of the world you are, but however, we are just so happy and excited that you are able to join and have a listen to this wonderful, exciting podcast where we deal with the issues of the mind, the heart, and the hustle. And this is the Women That Keep Going podcast. So here, we're all about encouraging each other as women. We're all about teaching one another how the things that have, helped you to be where you are in your entrepreneurship journey. What did you do and how you did it, and if there was any stumbling blocks on your way or any difficulties and struggles, failures, how did you go about using those things to help you to be where you are today? So, as exciting as it is, I cannot wait. Today we are talking about embracing the power of zero. Okay, starting from scratch, starting from the bottom, where it seems like it's super daunting and it's so uninspiring if you just think about it generally. However, here we are all about using all the negative things that most people are scared of, and we are aiming to actually use those things to empower us, to fuel us, to help us stand still and use them to actually climb on them to the next level. So I am going to just share a few of the things that I've been thinking about when it comes to starting from zero, because starting from scratch is quite scary, but it shouldn't be. It's actually supposed to be exciting, and I'm so happy that we're actually talking about this today. And I want you to, in your mind right now as you're listening, you could share some of your experiences of how many times you have had to start from zero, because I know that there's always an issue when it comes to having your plan A and your plan B. And when your plan A doesn't work, sometimes you feel like plan B is like your final plan. If plan B doesn't work, a lot of people are afraid to have a plan C and a D and the E and the G, but you have to have as many plans as you can, because you'll never know. And trying multiple times, you shouldn't be ashamed of doing that. It shouldn't be something that scares you. It should just be something that excites you, because for me, I feel like failing is a whole lot of a great experience. It's a lesson, and you would rather know how it's like to fail than being afraid to even try, because you'll never have that experience. So without too much chit chat, shall we get into it? I've just been thinking, sometimes through meditation, there's things that just come to my mind, and I'm just gonna share some of them with you today. So obviously, in my belief, starting from scratch it's starting from a clean slate. All right, and it's a chance to redefine yourself, to redefine your passions, the things that you have learned, and the things that you choose to go with this time, and your goals without the weight of the past mistakes or expectations. So basically, it's like if you had failed before, now you know that I should actually go this direction this time, and I shouldn't do 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, because I've seen that it didn't work for me the last time. So obviously 0 is like a neutral number, okay, and it's not a positive or a negative number. It's just neutral, and it's a blank canvas waiting for your brush strokes, whatever you want to do with it, whether you want to remain there or whether you want to start climbing up or bouncing up. And for me, this number or this starting point, this neutrality, gives you the freedom to create something entirely new. Okay, so I like how we are able to create something new. It's always exciting to create something new. And as a woman, as a female, if you get to the space where you are lonely, you are alone, or you're thinking and you are stuck, you're not too sure if you should start again or you should just let go, I think you should start over. And I think you should feel great about having a chance to start over, because you are given another chance. And it's more of a of how innovative you can be this time around, right? So it's exciting. It's exciting. Now, I know that whenever we have tried something before and then we failed, we sit and be sad and mob around and wait for a long time to come back around for round two. But for me, I feel like that's actually the time where you just have to embrace that. Okay, I failed now, so what is it that I can do next, right? So every great success story that I've seen or that I've read about in the book, or that I've watched on YouTube, or any successful people that are talking about their stories, most of them have started from zero. So think of the iconic entrepreneurs that you also may know, the inventors or the thought of leaders. They all have begun with an idea. Most of them, they began with a dream or a passion, and they built from scratch. So it's absolutely a good thing to do. Think about it. So let's talk about the process that I believe, and I've read about a lot of successful people of what they've done exactly. The first point that I want us to talk about is trusting yourself. Trusting yourself, it might raise a lot of questions, but yeah, trusting yourself. For me, when I think about that, it's that you are your greatest asset. You're for yourself, your unique experiences, good or bad, the skills that you have attained, the skills that you are still gaining, and the perspectives are the foundation of what you will ever build for your success. So it's more like whatever you believe that you are able to do, you can do. And when you have those experiences and the skills and how you see things, it ultimately helps you to see a way forward and achieve anything that you want to achieve, step by step. I don't want to say easily, but you sort of have like an idea and a direction when you believe in yourself, because it starts from there. And if you don't believe in yourself, it's hard for others to do that. And sometimes you don't have to actually say it to convince others. You just have to act it. Act like you are the best in what you're doing. Even if you are attempting it for the first time, act like you are the best in it. It convinces your audience much more easy, and they can also believe that you are good at what you're doing without you being a pro on it, but while you're still learning. Because everything you have to learn, the way you speak to yourself, the self-trust, trusting yourself is a foundation of resilience. When you trust yourself, you're more likely to bounce back from setbacks, adopt new challenges, and push through uncertainty, because you always know that I trust myself that I'm going to be able to achieve this or get on the other side of this successfully. And those are the things that you need to always tell yourself in your mind, and your mind subsequently believes that this is who you are. And so obviously everything that you are trying to do, it's easy for you to pass through it, because your mind, your body, your soul, all together, your universe, your surroundings, your positivity, your aura, this is just something that you are always telling yourself, that you are able to trust yourself, and you will definitely be able to pass through anything and everything. Point number 2, the intuition is a powerful guide. I believe in the power of intuition. I believe in it so much, and I know sometimes we fail ourselves when it comes to the intuition, because we always have it, but sometimes we ignore it. Okay, so I think it's time that you really pay attention to your intuition guidance and listen to your inner voice and trust your instincts. As a woman, you always have that active instinct. Remember, that's one of the powers that you have as a woman, as a feminine entrepreneur, as just as a woman in general. So your instincts will always help you to navigate the unknown and make decisions that align with your value and your vision. Trust in the power of your intuition. Shall we? Let's try and practice doing that. Now, the next part of what I want us to always remember is empowering yourself. Okay, so most of the time we forget that we can empower ourselves. We're always looking for the power that we can gain from the outside. Gaining the power from the outside, which is when you go and listen to people that speak to you, or you go to all those seminars and things like that, or reading something or listening to something. But whether it's a success or a setback, every experience is a fuel for your growth, according to my experience as well. And for me, every experience that holds a lesson and an opportunity for growth or a chance to refine your approach, that's, for me, that is like a chance waiting for you to empower yourself. So you have to think about how bad you felt when you lost something that was like a really valuable thing to you. But then now think about it, how you can use that same energy to redefine yourself and to move forward and find something else to do going forward with the same matching energy or even more of how disappointed you were. On the previous episode, we spoke about how you can use your failures or your bad experiences to turn them into your opportunities, because they add more value into you instead of taking value from you. Now, this agrees with what we spoke about, and I feel like you are not defined by your past, but you should use those things that have held you back to actually fuel you to move forward. Your history does not dictate your destiny. We all know that. You have the power to create a new narrative, ones that empowered, purpose-driven, and fulfilling. And you know for yourself what it is that you like, what it is that you want to hear, and you know what it is that you want to do. And if you are doing something towards your biggest dream of your business, of career, anything that is more exciting for you, and you feel like this is waiting for me to do, you will definitely know what is it that you need to do to actually tackle on the purpose of doing that you trust for yourself, because your worth is not tied to the external validation. We talk a lot about this, but sometimes I think it's a women weakness to always wonder or wish to be validated by someone or a situation, or being told that you are good at this or you are the right person for this. And that's when you would actually realize that I am good at this, My thing is, I want us to start practicing knowing from within the worth that we have, and the validation should come from inside before anyone can actually tell you. It's not being it's not being arrogant. It's just knowing that positive things about yourself and telling yourself that positive things to yourself, and speaking to you in a positive manner, that you are enough regardless of external recognition or approval. Your worth comes from within. Your worth should always come from within. You should always know that you are worthy, and it's essential to cultivate self-love, self-acceptance, and self-worth in each and everything that you do on every single day, on your day-to-day activities, you always have to have that at the back of your mind to drive you forward. Now, let's take a breather from self-talk and self-positivity and validation. Remember, we are here to empower each other on the business, on entrepreneurship. So I just want to have a few points on that as well. What I've been thinking about is, most of us are starting small. So starting small allows for agility and adaptability. Okay? So I always feel like you don't have to be afraid to start small and scale up. For me, that's actually exciting, because I don't have anyone in my memory that has started from the top already and coming down. It always starts from the beginning, from the bottom, and move up. So this approach enables you to refine your ideas, respond to feedback, and adopt changing circumstances. So we know that things are changing all the time, and as much as your goals and your dreams might not change, but maybe the styles of how you approach things should go according to what is working right now. Okay? Think about how failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Okay, so I know that even now, somehow we still think that failure, success, those are two opposite things. No, that's not true. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's actually a part of it. That's my strongest belief. And every successful entrepreneur or business leader has experienced setbacks. And instead of fearing failure, view it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine your approach. It's more of, you've tried something, it didn't work out, so try it in a different way. That's more experience added to you, and you will be able to use that as value. It's giving more value to yourself, because now you're getting so much of knowledge and experience, and you are getting empowered in a way. And that's actually a good thing. It's a good point that we should always think about. So I also always want to emphasize in collaborating and community, or the people that we are working with, or people around us. Surround yourself with people who support and encourage and inspire you in your business. Okay, so this might be tricky. Sometimes you may feel like people around you are not really supportive. They don't see you the way you see yourself. I agree, most of us have that, and it's a reality. So it's a reality that we are not going to avoid talking about. In most cases, people around you have seen you try so many times, and they've seen you fail, they've seen you cry, they've seen you sad, so they don't really maybe take you seriously. So it's okay to find a different type of people. Move away from where you are. Go to don't move as like move your home, but like just move around and attend the seminars where they speak about how to build your business, how to do your marketing, how to do your research, how can you know what's good and what's good for you and what's not good for you. But most importantly, learn how to serve, provide a service to the people that need your service in exchange of paying you in terms of business. So if you feel like it's not happening where you are, then try and find a different spot. Move around. It's so nice to go around and talk to different people, get different views, perspectives, beliefs, and see and learn how other people are conducting themselves when it comes to the business world. I used to do that a lot. It's when I was in high school, I used to go to the library a lot, and I used to talk to the librarians, and I used to read books, and that's when I actually gained more confidence to just walk into any office or walk into the bank and ask questions. I was always curious, and the more you do it, the more you feel confident that you can speak to anyone as long as they are open to speaking to you. Can we dig deeper? Now I want us to talk about how everything that happens to you in your life can be used as an example. So being an example in life, because your story has the power to inspire others. You sharing your journey, sharing your struggles, your triumphs, is a story that maybe someone is waiting for to hear, and for them to be able to stand up on their feet and start moving. So never ever look down on your story. Never ever feel like your story is too big for people to understand, or it's too sad, or it's not good enough, or it's not serious enough. Anything that you have to share about your life, think about your life being an example, or you being an example in life. The purpose that you have, and you trusting yourself to help you pursue your passion, that's what will help others as well, because your story can inspire others to take the leap and trust themselves once they hear what you have to say about yourself. Maybe it's a similar situation that they're going through, and it will help them pursue their passions. So always think about that. The vulnerability is a sign of strength, not a weakness. That's another point that I always want to emphasize. We always speak about how being weak or how being powerful, and what differentiates us into those 2 points. Well, to be willing to be vulnerable, to share your fears and doubts and uncertainties, these vulnerability can help you build deeper connections and foster empathy and create a sense of community. So the way you feel is not just you alone. There's so many people that feel the same way that you feel. But at the end of the day, what matters the most is, what are you doing about it to set you apart, or to defeat that fear that you have, to defeat that of being ashamed of yourself. It's a lot of things, but what I'm trying to speak on here is you being vulnerable to the right people, to the right safe space, not to the eyes of the people that will laugh at you, but to the people that share the same values as you, could actually help create a sense of community. Okay, vibrant, empowered women uplift others. We always say that empowered women empower others. So when you embody your confidence, resilience, and purpose, you create a ripple effect that inspires others to do the same. It's important to always have all these things that we've talking about, but self-trust, knowing that your value comes from within, having your own confidence, and confidence could be even when you are afraid, but you still go forward. That's the greatest unbreakable confidence. Let's break it into when someone says, you know what, I hear you talking about starting from scratch. I've done that so many times and I'm tired. So that's a reality, and we should not be ashamed, facing it and talking about it, because most of us are there or have been there. So this part of this session, I want us to discuss embracing multiple attempts. I want to talk about how it's okay to start from scratch multiple times. That you shouldn't be discouraged if your first or your second or your third attempt doesn't work out. Each attempt, in my opinion, is a learning opportunity, and you will get closer to your goal with each and every try. Because having multiple plans is a sign of resilience. If you think about it, developing your plan A, plan B, or plan C, or plan D and so on. It's a way of having a multiple thinking of positivity, of if this doesn't work, the second attempt should work. You won't be stuck because you only had one idea, and now if it doesn't work, then everything is just 100% failed. So this mindset helps you to prepare for the unexpected setbacks, and you can stay focused on your objective. I feel that it's a smart way of doing things. Every successful person has experienced multiple failures. We spoke about this. There's so many examples that you can think of. I've been reading about Thomas Edison, J.K. Rowling, and Walt Disney. Those are just a few examples of the individuals who faced numerous rejections, and failures before achieving their great success. You can look them up. Check out Thomas Edison, or check out Walt Disney or J.K. Rowling. You will be able to read about their stories. You're going to be inspired. Don't be ashamed of your attempts. Instead of that, be proud of your willingness to take risks, learn from your mistakes, and persist in the face of adversity. I like that. This point reminds me of how stubborn you should be, right? And in a good way, because there's so many things that are counting on you, including yourself, for you to get what you need to get done. And so adversity will always be there, but you choose which side of it you want to be on. Whether you want to be behind it, where it smashed you and left you, or you want to be on top of it, where you're like, yeah, you came and I used you to step up with my plans. Okay? Now let's imagine your business. Everything that we're talking about is building your business. From yourself, your confidence, but at the end of the day, it's about your business. Visualizing is the powerful tool. So there's so many things that we do. Some of us are meditating, some of us pray, some of you just close your eyes and vividly imagine your business thriving. Visualize your success, the impact, and the positive change that brings to your life, to the others, in your way, when you're visualizing it, how you want to see it, how you want to achieve it, how you want it to manifest. It's all in your mind. But when you see the bigger picture, when you envision the long-term effect of your hard work and the perseverance, this helps you stay focused and motivated. And your goals, you can see them. That's why a lot of people use vision boards. I also use vision boards, even if it's not actually on your board, on the wall. Actually, you can have it on your phone and look at it every day. And even when you're faced with challenges, somehow when you're upset, it calms you down to know that you actually have such big things that you want for yourself, and you have an exciting journey to take to get there. So use your imagination as your fuel and let your vision drive you forward, even when the journey gets tough. Always use all your visions to drive you forward. Remember, every great achievement started with a single idea or an imagination. We're living in the times where we are just tired of adversity or poverty. So we have the power to create change, to recognize that we are not just victims of circumstances. Instead, we are powerful individuals who can create positive change in our lives and the lives of those around us. I always talk about our children. I always talk about the next generation. What are we doing now for them to have a different environment? Just like before we got here, people before us, they did some things for us to have this freedom that we have now. So I'm sure we're all tired of wanting and not having. It's time to take action and work towards creating the life that you yourself desire for yourself. The one that you see when you close your eyes and meditate, or the one that you see when you see something that inspires you to have, the business that you see for yourself when you think about your future, or when you look at your kids, or when you look at whatever that inspires you. When you think about those things, remember that small steps today can lead to significant progress tomorrow. You just have to be patient and persistent, because those are the keys. When you're building a successful business or creating a positive change in your life, it takes time. It might take time. So you always have to be patient in your own way, stay focused in your own way, and keep working towards your goals in your own way. In the same sense here, we are talking about not comparing yourself to anybody else and not expecting things to work out the same way they worked out for the next person that you see next to you. Everything is working differently for you, but remember, your patience and your focus is going to work for you, not the way it's working for the next person, because everybody is different. Celebrate your small wins. Starting from there, acknowledging and celebrating your small victories along the way. This will help you stay motivated and encouraged throughout your journey. There's just a small little thing that I like to do. Now I don't have access to the gym, because where I am there isn't any gyms close by. So what I'd like to do, I just do my exercises at home, because I feel like I need to constantly do that. And so I time myself, and when I have actually done all the exercises that I see on the app and the ones that I have in my mind, I really get excited that I've actually achieved the goal for today. And there's a different way that you feel when you've done something to the best that you could on that particular day. So that's the same way that I want you to approach your tries as well, that it doesn't really have to be compared to anything. You're doing it for yourself, the ability that you have, and to the best level of your ability. And it's all about what you can afford to do. You know, it doesn't really have to be compared to anything or anyone. It's so nice and it's so fulfilling when you finally realize that I'm not comparing myself to anybody. I don't owe comparing myself to anybody. I don't even have to wish to be like anybody, because the way that I am is so unique for me, and it's pure and unique in a way that it's 100% good enough for what I am created to be, or what I'm created to do. Be it your business, be it your career, be it your goals, be anything that you have in your mind that you're inspired to achieve. You are perfectly, uniquely created exactly the way you're supposed to be for that. And you don't have to compare yourself to anything or anyone, because it might just not be a good fit. So also remember, starting from scratch should be exciting. It doesn't matter how many times. The goal is having to move from the lower part of your journey and bouncing back up. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed today's talk, and I would really appreciate your participation and sharing your stories as well, of how many times you had to bounce back and start over, and how hard it was, and now where you are right now. And let's just have those conversations going. Let's keep talking about those conversations, because it's helping a lot of people that are doubting themselves now because they have failed multiple times and they just feel like they are not meant for this. You can help that person regain themselves and see their vision alive and much more brighter by sharing your story. And I thank you for your participation and you being a part of this session today. As a woman, keep going no matter what. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your kids if you have. You owe it to just your femininity, because everything in you allows you to be the best that you can be.